trying to say, I want you to know that no matter how low you get in life, God will still hear your cry. If you trust God, he will hear you and he will save you. I have three things that I want to share with you. Y'all got the time? I know y'all been waiting on me to get here. Do y'all got the time?
Yeah. Come on. All right.
Look at my watch. I got time today. Listen, three things. Let's go. I'm not going to waste your time. You don't want me to waste it, but just continue to say amen and I get out of your way. I mean, how do we deal with the trials of life that has us broken into pieces? I mean, how can you get ourselves back together, especially after COVID-19, Omicron, or the monkeypox? How do you get yourself together after that? How can you put our pieces back together after jobs have laid us off? How can you move forward after all the things that are going on in this world? I mean, some of us have lost our family members. Some of us have lost the things that are going on that we thought was going well in our lives. Some of us had to close some of our businesses. Yeah, you look good on the outside, but the truth of the matter is you got something going on the inside. But how many of us can smile even though we're going through these situations? Because your neighbor may talk about you, we can still smile. But how many of us smile because we understand that the pain that we have on the inside is only going to last just for a little while? We understand. How many of us look happy and we know that our soul is tired? We look good on the outside, but we tore up on the inside. You want to fall apart because your life has been broken into many different pieces. How to survive on broken pieces? Paul was one of God's chosen. For many years, he's faithful, served the Lord after his encounterment on Damascus Road. Yes. Now, when we come down to the end of Paul's journey, Paul returned to Jerusalem. And this is the first point I want to tell you. If you're going to make it on broken pieces, number one, you got to learn how to praise your way through. Go ahead now. Say it. See, if you go back to chapter 17, read it when you get a chance. Paul he went back to Jerusalem before Caesar in Rome. He was in the temple worshiping and praising God. The people saw him worshiping and it inspired them. 1 Thessalonians 5:18 says, give thanks in the circumstances, but not for every circumstances, but for in everything that you're in, give God some thanks. I don't know what you feel today, but I know there may be a lot going on in your life, and asking you to praise God may be just a little unorthodox. And you say, look, I got too much going on. My mind is messed up. My shoes are no good. My clothes are no good. I don't know if I'm having or not. You can't ask me to give God some praise in the midst of all this stuff I'm going on. Just lost a family member over here. Couldn't pay the light bill over here. Pastor, that's too much you asking me to do to give God some praise in spite of all this going on. But if you can just muster up enough strength to think about all the stuff that you've already been through, and God has brought you over. I wish I had somebody else in there verse 21 through 25. We're looking at verse 21 through 25. We got to look at the promise of God. So the promise of God is telling us in verse 21 through 25, but after long abstinence, Paul stood forth in the midst of them and said, Sir, you have hearkened unto me and not have loosened their creed, and to have gathered his harm and loss. And now I as long as you ride with the man of God, you can make it off of broken pieces. Is there anybody here? Don't they ride with Paul? Yes, Lord. Anybody here know they ride with God? Can I get one witness? If you know you ride with God, Johnny, yeah. Johnny, yeah. Thank y'all for coming. I got one more thing I'm gonna let you go. There was a man, y'all probably have heard this before, but there was a man, he was working Heaven Gate, and he was letting buses in through Heaven Gate. And one day, this strange bus came, and it had a whole lot of sinful people ride on this bus. And the man looked on the bus, and the man saw a liar that was on the bus. He saw a gambler on the bus. He saw a backbiter on the bus. He saw a murderer on the bus. He saw a drug abuser on the bus. He saw an adulterer on the bus. And he said, wait a minute, I can't let this bus in. I'm going to get God.